Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be tackling a pretty big question, one that's probably on a lot of people's minds, especially with all the crazy stuff happening with technology these days. What's the impact of AI going to be on marketing and content creation?
Absolutely. And it's funny because you sent over this document called futureofmarketingai.pdf,
Oh, yeah.
and it really gets to the heart of the issue. Our mission today is to kind of cut through all the hype, all the noise, and really get into what this all means, especially if you're someone who wants to stay ahead of the curve but doesn't want to get, completely overwhelmed by all the technical jargon. So we'll be exploring this big question. Will AI replace marketers and content creators? Or will it become, a powerful tool in their arsenal?
Right. So, the big question that keeps popping up in this document is, will AI actually step into human roles in marketing and just, take over? Or is it going to be more like this incredible partner, something that really amps up what marketers can already do? And it's clear that AI is changing so rapidly, it's already creating content, predicting how customers will behave, and even automating those interactions we have with them. It's definitely something that makes you pause and think.
Oh, absolutely. The speed at which it's all happening is, it's pretty mind-blowing. The document even points out that these AI tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney, and Jasper
Hmm.
are already capable of creating some pretty high-quality content. And the speed, forget about it. They're lightning fast. It's totally natural to think, well, hold on. Our human content creator is about to become obsolete, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I found really interesting about this document. It brings up a really different perspective. It argues that while these AI tools can create, they still lack something crucial, that human element. It's the ability to really understand those subtle nuances, emotions, and the big picture strategic vision that sets humans apart.
Right.
The document's saying that AI is really good at generating, while humans, we excel at connecting.
Exactly. The document actually makes this really important distinction. Content marketing is so much more than just putting words on a page or creating cool visuals. It's really about building connections with people, persuading them, telling stories that resonate, and, ultimately building that sense of trust.
Yeah.
These are areas where you need deep human understanding of cultural context, of a brand's voice, what makes an audience tick, and even those basic ethical considerations. AI can produce text, sure, but can it truly connect? That's the million-dollar question. In essence, the document is arguing that AI might handle the what and the how, but humans, we get to decide the why.
Okay, so let's kind of unpack that shift in perspective a bit. So
Yeah.
instead of thinking, "Oh no, AI is going to take my job," the document is saying that maybe it's more like a super powerful tool, right? A really valuable addition to a marketer's toolkit.
Precisely. Technology often changes what roles look like. It doesn't always just completely eliminate them.
Right.
And the document then dives into some specific ways that AI is already reshaping the marketing world.
So one big one, and they talk about this a lot, is content creation at scale. The document points out how AI can help with a ton of things, generating outlines, writing first drafts of blog posts, social media updates, even translating content into different languages. Sounds like it could free up human marketers to focus on bigger, more strategic tasks.
Absolutely. It's huge, right?
Mm.
Think of how much time is spent on just those initial steps, those kind of repetitive tasks in content creation. If AI can take some of that off your plate, it lets human marketers focus on, the more creative and strategic stuff.
Right.
But it's not just about creating more content. The document highlights another huge impact of AI, the ability to really get to know and engage with customers on an individual level through what they call hyper-personalization.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing where instead of sending out the same marketing blast to everyone, AI can use tons of customer data to tailor messages to each person's preferences and behaviors, right?
Mm.
Like when Netflix suggests shows you might like based on what you've watched before.
Yeah.
So you're applying that same concept to marketing. That level of personalization could really boost customer engagement.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond just personalization, too.
Okay.
The document talks about predictive analytics, where AI models can actually predict customer behavior. This lets marketers make smarter decisions, everything from how to allocate their budget to which products to promote to specific groups of customers. It's about anticipating needs and trends using data.
And then there's the automation and efficiency piece, right? Like setting up automated email sequences and really fine-tuning how ads are targeted. So AI is handling a lot of those routine, time-consuming tasks, leaving marketers to focus on the big picture.
Exactly. And the document makes a really important point here. It says AI takes care of the how, the execution, the analysis of all that data, that ability to scale things up.
Hmm.
But the human element is still crucial for deciding the why, the overarching goals, the what's the actual message, the brand identity, and the when, the timing and context of those marketing campaigns.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. The document then brings up this idea of agentic AI,
Oh, yeah.
and it sounds like it's way beyond the AI tools we're all used to.
It's a whole different ballgame. So unlike the AI tools we use now, where you give it a command and it spits out a response, Agentic AI is designed to actually achieve a bigger goal on its own. It can plan, it can reason, and it takes action autonomously to achieve a specific objective. It's much more self-directed.
So the example they give in the document is pretty wild. Imagine instead of asking an AI to write a few blog posts, you could task an agentic AI with creating and running an entire content marketing campaign. That would be everything from the initial research to writing all the content, scheduling it, even monitoring how it performs and making adjustments along the way.
Exactly. That's the power of it. These agentic AI systems basically combine different tools, things like search engines, databases, analytics, and then add in these super sophisticated reasoning engines. They work like little autonomous agents, all working towards a defined goal. So it's not just a tool anymore. It's like an autonomous partner, which means we need to think differently about how we manage and oversee it.
So what kind of things can these AI agents actually do?
Well, the document highlights several key capabilities. First, they can come up with complex, multi-step marketing plans all on their own. Second, they can adjust their strategies based on real-time feedback or the data they're gathering as they go.
Uh-huh.
And, maybe most importantly, they can constantly optimize those campaigns without needing a human to step in every 5 minutes.
That sounds incredibly powerful, but I gotta ask, what about oversight?
That's a great question, and the document addresses it head-on. It emphasizes that even with this level of autonomy, human oversight, strategic guidance, and a clear understanding of your goals are still absolutely essential. You can't just set this thing loose and expect it to perfectly align with your vision without any human input.
Okay, so even with these incredibly sophisticated AI agents, there are still some core reasons why humans are going to remain essential to marketing. The first one they mention is emotional intelligence. And that seems pretty fundamental to connecting with an audience, right?
It's crucial. Empathy, humor, intuition, these are all human qualities that are hard to
Yeah.
replicate.
Yeah,
Marketing is all about building relationships, about connecting with people on an emotional level.
right.
AI can analyze sentiment and text, but
Mhm.
it can't truly feel or understand the subtleties of human emotion the way a person can.
Makes sense. What about brand voice and storytelling? I mean, can you really code a captivating narrative or a brand identity that truly resonates with people?
Exactly. Strong brands are built on stories and values that connect with an audience. And these are developed and nurtured by humans who deeply understand the brand's mission and how it fits into people's lives. AI can mimic a writing style, sure, but it can't define the essence of a brand.
And then there's cultural awareness, which is so important. Marketing doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? It's constantly being shaped by current events, social trends, what's happening in culture. That requires a lot of human judgment and understanding.
It does. Think about how quickly things change in culture. What might be relevant or funny one day could be completely out of touch the next. Humans have that ability to understand context and be sensitive to these changes in a way that AI just can't, at least not yet.
And then, of course, there's the ethical side of things. AI can be great at optimizing for clicks or conversions, but it doesn't really have a moral compass, does it?
Absolutely not. Only humans can decide what's right, what's fair, and what aligns with the company's ethical principles. AI can't consider the broader societal impact of a marketing strategy beyond the data it was trained on.
Right. And finally, they highlight strategy and vision. AI can analyze data and suggest tactics, but when it comes to setting the big picture direction, making those values-based decisions, and leading with a clear purpose, that's still a human's job.
It is. AI can be a powerful tool for carrying out a strategy, but it can't come up with a vision itself or make those big choices about what a company stands for and where it's headed. So, with all this change happening, what does the document say marketers should do to thrive in this AI-driven future?
Yeah, that's the big question. So what's their advice?
They have some really practical recommendations. First, continuous upskilling is key. Marketers need to be proactive about learning about these new AI tools, experimenting with them, and really understanding what they can do.
Okay.
And second, strategic thinking becomes even more important, as does what they call creative mastery, that ability to come up with original, impactful ideas that go beyond what AI can do.
Right. So if AI is taking on those more routine and data-heavy tasks, human marketers need to really level up their strategic and creative skills.
Exactly. And they also talk about embracing data with empathy. It's not just about crunching numbers, it's about understanding the human stories and motivations behind those numbers.
Makes sense.
And finally, they encourage marketers to really dive in and experiment with agentic AI. See how these more autonomous systems can be integrated into the workflow.
So it's not about humans versus AI, but about how they can work together to get better results. It sounds like the document is saying that the marketers who learn to use AI effectively will be the ones who really come out on top.
That's exactly it. The future isn't about choosing one over the other. It's about realizing that humans and AI each have unique strengths
Hmm.
and finding creative ways to use them together.
Right.
The most effective marketing campaigns going forward will be driven by human understanding, but amplified by the efficiency and scale that AI can provide.
So in this deep dive into futureofmarketingai.pdf, it seems like the big takeaway isn't that AI is going to replace us, but that it's going to change how we do things.
Right.
AI has some undeniable capabilities, and the potential for efficiency and scale is incredible. But at the same time, the core of marketing, that connection with people, that understanding of culture, that strategic vision, it's all still very much in the human realm.
Absolutely.
AI isn't coming to end marketing careers. It's more like a powerful co-pilot, ready to help us amplify our creativity and strategic thinking. And this brings us to a really crucial point to think about as you navigate this changing landscape. The question isn't, will AI replace marketers? The real question is, how far can marketers go with AI at their side?